The views and opinions on this show are for entertainment purposes only. The only factual information is any story that has happened to AT2 or the parties involved. Other than that, go ahead and get you a drink, get you something to eat, just relax and enjoy the show. Let's have fun. All right, y'all, let's get real. What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. And yes, I'm your boy AT2. How everybody doing? How everybody living? How everybody feeling out there? What's up, everybody? Let me say what's up to my people. What's up, Drew? What's up, Aussie? What's up, Vegas girl? What's up, Sunshinery? What's up, Dizzy? Thank you, Dizzy, for coming. I appreciate you. Shout out to Wendy Lucas. And by the way, happy birthday to you. And shout out to Andrea Nelson as well, too. Who else we got up in here? Did I miss anybody? Okay, I think I got everybody. But thank y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button, thumbs up. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what to do already to get me in the algorithm. And yes, keep commenting because that does help with the algorithm as well, too. I just pulled this shirt out of my closet. So, by the way, yes, it's wrinkled. Don't judge me. That's why you only see from here up. I was going to do the review last night, but I decided to hold off because no, I didn't take a what's up, Cooter Brown? Cooter Brown up in the house. Shout out to Cooter Brown real quick. But I wanted to do it last night, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna wait until tomorrow because I had to wake up real early because I had the bug guy come and stuff like that. I know people watching the replay all like, would you shut the hell up and just get into it? We're gonna get into it, but I need to talk to my people real quick. You know, we gotta have a conversation. This is what we do around here. Wait, hold on. Is my butt up in the air? Hold on. We're going to start having conversations around here. Shout out to everybody who watched the Judge Velvet show. I hope you guys liked it. Also, if you keep on watching, you'll see the exclusive trailer. Now, my members have already seen the second trailer, so make sure you guys check that out. But yeah, you guys are going to see the exclusive trailer today for it, so just hang on tight. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and discuss Porsha's Family Matters. Now, is she allowed to have that name of the show? Because, like, there's already a show called Family Matters, and then adding the Porsha into it, it just seems, oh, okay, I thought that was a booger for a minute. And adding the Porsha Family Matters, it doesn't seem like that really. I don't know. It's too similar for me. I don't like that. Like, I like the original Family Matters, you know, with Laura, Steve Urkel and stuff like that. But anyway, I digress. So, like I said before, this show kind of reminds me Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, the first season, where it was just like a whole bunch of jumbled up drama, but it was so entertaining that we just kept watching. We knew it was ratchet, nasty ass TV, but it was so good we just had to keep watching it. And this is what it kind of reminds me of. So I'm gonna skip around a little bit. So Porsha had her birthday party or whatever, and that's the dinner party. She didn't want Dennis, her ex, to have a date. So he actually showed up with the mama, which I felt was very interesting, and I kind of like that family dynamic. We haven't discussed, I guess we should kind of discuss this in a different episode, like of my show I'm talking about, but having split families. Like, were your parents together when you guys were coming up and stuff like that? My parents weren't together when I was coming up. So, you know, it is a different dynamic, but I like seeing like the two families come together. I really think that's dope. But let me go ahead and do my first poll question. Were you guys raised with your parents, or were you raised in a separate house? How do you ask that question? You know what I'm saying. Were you raised with your parents, or like, did you come from two separate households? 30 seconds. Okay. Thank you guys for being honest. And Wendy, I remember you shared your story on my show. Thank you for that. Sunshinery said her parents are still together. Okay. Becktown together, single. Okay. So oh, let me clarify this. Both of my parents are in my life, but I was raised with my dad and my stepmom. So in a way, I did have a two-parent home. I can't say like I came from a single this and that. I did have a two-parent home, and then my mom was always in my life. My mom wasn't a crackhead or nothing, so I don't want that. They love to talk about my mama, but anyway, my mama was always in my life. So anyway, I digress. But I wouldn't. I was actually telling my therapist today, which I'll talk about that in a different episode. I was actually telling my therapist that I wouldn't want it any other way. I was so young when my parents split that I don't even remember it. So I don't remember them being together. So having them separate, I think that was the best thing because um, if, I know I don't have any kids, so this ain't my place. But if you in a toxic relationship, don't say you're staying because of the kids, because you will end up hating yourself. Do not stay because of the kids. Break up as soon as possible. Whenever you guys need to get the hell up out of there. And I appreciate Kuda Brown talking about her situation too. She said her and her husband had brought her and her ex-husband have brought the families together. I think that's actually dope. Um, oh, and your dad's mom. Okay, yeah, so I really like that dynamic of the show. Them showing that my mother was outside of my life. I've always called her by her first name. Oh wow, Dizzy, I'm sorry about that. Um, but going to what I was talking about, the grandma, Portia's grandma was like, all like, yeah, I have a son and I raised him, and he's a playboy, talking about her son. But then she was referencing that to Dennis, and oh, you know what? I forgot Dennis's mama name. We gonna call her Darlene. So Miss Darlene right here, that's not even her name. What's the mama name? Damn it. Oh, okay. Miss Darlene right here was all like, no, he ain't a playboy. What you trying to say? Like she came back at the grandma. She had to check the grandma, like, you ain't gonna talk about my son like that. And it is awkward. This is why I don't like meeting parents. Whenever I'm dating, which is every once in a, not even a blue moon, one Gina, that's what her name. Thank you, Cooter Brown. Thank you, Miss Lexi. But when I'm dating, every not even a blue moon, an orange moon, I hate meeting her parents because it's just awkward, because they want to talk about, what do you do you go to church? All them questions are awkward for me. I don't really talking about that to people I don't know. But anyway, basically, if Miss Gina wasn't there, then they would have dogpiled on Dennis and basically called him out for this and that, and he a playboy, he cheated on her and stuff like that. And so, she had to check. She politely checked the grandma, in which I appreciate her for doing that, because Dennis, Gina, and Dennis were around Portia's whole family, so obviously they were going to get dogpiled, and I just thought like that was the wrong thing. Anyway, going to what I was saying, um, Nina is crazy. So then they go see a spiritual shaman and stuff like that. And then like the auntie was like singing and stuff like that. I thought that scene was funny. Then there was a scene where Portia and Dennis went to like some kind of Brazilian restaurant, or some restaurant where they serve the meat in front of you, or cut the meat in front of you and stuff like that. And they were kind of talking about their relationship. To me, this is what the show is setting up. I'm gonna give you guys the spoiler on this show. Y'all ready for it? This is a spoiler. I see now you heard it here first when you hear it from me, okay? I see Portia and Simon not working out, right? And I'll give it two more seasons for this whole Portia spinoff show, right? Porsha is going to end up back with Dennis, and that's going to be the romantic story of the century and stuff like that. So Porsha really don't want Simon. It's more the money thing, and it's an interesting story. She got her spinoff of. If she was with Dennis, she wouldn't got her spinoff show. Let's just be honest about that. So with the Simon drama, with her allegedly being the woman stiller and the husband stiller and all that stuff, it created that controversy to get her own spinoff show. And so now what's going to happen is that her and Simon are going to work out, and then she going to end up back with Dennis. So we already see what the story going to be. We already know the plot to this story. So that's what it's going to be, y'all. You heard it here first. So anyway, we skip over to that whole thing. Thank you, Becktown. Exactly. We already see it coming. We see it coming. So we skip over to that, and then the last scene was with the mom, with Gina, Miss Gina right here, and Porsha. So Porsha and Gina, they were like talking, and she was all like, you kind of came at my grandma, and she was like, well, your grandma kind of said, he was a playboy and all this. So they're kind of just going tit for tat. And then he was all like, well, and Porsha goes like, well, Dennis cheated. And then Gina goes like, well, you cheated too. And then it's like, dun, dun, dun. So Gina revealed that, right here. Gina revealed that Porsha mom actually said something about like another guy came in between her and Dennis's relationship and stuff like that. So Porsha mama done already turned on her and said what the truth was. Now, you can tell there was probably some cheating going on between both parties. I don't think one's innocent over the other. I think there was cheating going on in all parties. But, it is what it is. I mean, there was the rumors about Dennis allegedly loves extra activities. I don't know how to say it without saying it, but he loves extra activities. Wink, wink, DM me, and I'll tell you what the accusations were. And then Porsha, Porsha gonna get to the money, and she definitely sets herself up where she gets to the money. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But that whole scene was cool. And then I guess Miss Gina will be going on that trip to Mexico as well. Yes, Miss Gina need a spin. Where they been hiding Miss Gina? Damn it. Where they been hiding her? She is highly entertaining. Yes. I see y'all say hashtag hospital picture. Y'all crazy. I hate y'all. But anyway, next up, we're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But before we go ahead and get into that, I do want to play you the exclusive trailer for episode 2 of the Judge Velvet Show.
Judge Velvet, we ain't with the fuck shit. Hallelujah.
You gotta say flipper, hair flip. Can't see a goddamn thing. I can't see nothing. I can't see a goddamn thing going on. Somebody tell me.
Hennessy. We can't hear you.
All my proof, all my receipts are right here. I'm covered in receipts. All receipts.
My opinion. I just don't understand why I'm on the naughty list. Judge Velvet. Thank you for watching the trailer.
Woo! Oh man, I still need to understand why Porsha looked like a blow-up doll. ATO, you mean in the picture I used? All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and go on to the next topic. So the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This one didn't feature Jen Shaw at all. I guess they're gonna save her for later on in the season. I did see the mid-season trailer, which I think the Salt Lake City women, I think they're bringing it. I think it's going to be good. It's sad that it's not one of the highest rated ones, but it is what it is. It takes time. Salt Lake City is kind of like nobody checking for Salt Lake City. So, the name of it didn't really have like it wasn't like a big deal or anything like that. Nobody's dying to go to um, Salt Lake City. So it was already handicapped before the show even debuted it. Maybe that's not the right word. But anyway, um, so they start talking about how they thought Mary had basically running a cult church. So they're talking about her, and then all of a sudden Mary was gone, and then they ended up going to Lisa. One of the girls on the show went ahead and talked to Mary and was like, I need to know if you think you're God. And like, she was basically trying to get ahead of it because she knew she was talking hella, excuse me, she was talking hella shit. And remember, she dropped that bomb that Cameron, the guy that passed away, unfortunately, remortgaged his house for $300,000, and then boom, like he's out of $300,000. So she dropped that bomb. So you can tell that she was trying to cover her tracks. So anyway, so then towards the end of the episode, they have this big blowout because they basically are trying to ask Mary about, the accusations going on. And, Mary got into it with the Heather girl and the Whitney girl. And, Lisa was really backtracking on what she said. And she was like, no, I told Mary everything and blah, blah, blah. But just because you told her don't mean that you still ain't shady as like you still shady. And so Mary, she was giving it to him. She was like, you guys think I run a cult? And she was just going off and just going all over the place. And so I was like, oh, okay, Mary, okay, you bringing the heat. See, Mary was bringing the heat, and they are scared of Mary. And the Heather girl, she actually said, like, you guys are scared of her. What's up, Pamela? Pamela, thank you for coming by. Make sure you guys put hearts in the chat for Pamela. She really needs it. Put hearts in the chat. Oh, you scared of me? Yo, she would use the wrath of God on you, But anyway, so, Heather walks out because she's mad that it seems that nobody is telling the truth on what's going on, and they're too scared of Mary and all this stuff. And then, Mary kind of continues, and then the Jenny, she actually was the one to say, like, Mary, everybody had an opinion and everybody was talking about you, and then that's when Mary got all emotional, so she leaves, right? And so then she's talking to Lisa, and she's all like, yeah, blah blah blah, you're basically comparing me to Jen. And so basically I find it interesting that the two women of color are the ones in all the legal battles and all this stuff. And, and basically Mary was right for this. She was like, how can you compare me to Jen when Jen is being indicted for something? And you guys are basically talking about my cult, you talking about my church, saying it's a cult and stuff like that. And I still have this argument where I think, like, this is, and I'm gonna ask you guys, I think all churches have characteristics of being cults. Y'all get what I'm saying? Let me ask y'all. I think all churches have characteristics of being a cult. Let me go ahead and do another 30-second poll. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with that statement that all churches have characteristics of being a cult. Put a 2 if you think that's absolutely false. Yeah, I feel like the argument that they're making, I feel like that argument can be said about anybody's church. I think, you know what? Actually, Andrea was the only person that said 2. Everybody else said 1, I believe. Yeah, 1. Yeah, and I'm not saying church. Oh, okay, Beck said 2 as well. And I'm not saying church is a cult, but it can be cult like some of the emotions, and maybe because I have my own personal relationship with God and not to get too deep into it, but like some of the dramatics that you see at church, like sometimes I'm all like, I didn't get that with that testimony, and stuff like that. Um, it didn't get me emotional. It didn't get me to this level. So, I think and I think it all depends on your relationship too. Some people have had bad relationships and some people have had good. So it's kind of like my question was more general. So I think a lot of people, will just think about it in a certain way, but it goes deep. But anyway, I think them questioning the religion and stuff like that. I do think, not religion, questioning her church. I think that's fair, but to say that it's a cult, I think that's a little bit extreme. And she did say, I'm not God. God is in me. Mary, you might believe in God, but God is definitely not in you because you a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But God has a sense of humor as well. I can say that. Oh, okay, thank you, Becktown. Yeah, I think I didn't explain it. I just kind of said it and I didn't really explain it. But yeah, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Okay, but anyway, and so Mary, she was all like, you guys compare me to Jen, you know, Jen is a thug. I don't like her saying Jen is a thug. I don't like her saying that because, we don't know if Jen is a criminal or not. And then she was all like, she was all like, she's like one of those Mexicans that do all the drugs. And I was like, oh my Lord. Did Mary just say she's like one of the Mexicans that do the drugs? And I knew what she meant. She was trying to say like, like a drug lord or something, like somebody smuggling in drugs. But the first thing that came to your mind was Mexican, and then you said drugs. And this kind of goes back to Mary when she said the whole well, it wasn't on camera, but one of the girls busted her out for saying there was black people in front of 7-Eleven and she didn't feel safe. Yeah, the cartels. That's what she was trying to say, but she just said Mexican. She didn't say no cartels. She just said the Mexicans. Um, but when she said she didn't feel safe in front of 7-Eleven because of the black guys out there and stuff like that. And so Mary is known for saying ignorant statements like this. And you just kind of thinking like, yo, the whole time she's been calling out these girls for things that they have said, but yet she says the most horrendous shit that nobody should say out in public. You know what I mean? Right, right. Exactly. Exactly. You're right about that, Vegas girl. Thank you for that comment. And someone like, oh, Mary, like, like Mary is like crazy and ditzy, and so you want to like Mary. Mary. Yeah, shout out to Mary, by the way. Um, yeah, she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And so sometimes you just all like, you want to go in on her, but then you're like, really? Like this lady? First of all, after watching the show, I would never probably go to Mary's church. I think Mary is funny for TV, but I would never go to her church. I'm not trying to get no spiritual advice from this woman at all. Like, crazy, crazy. Andrea said Mary and Perry with the 7-Eleven. All right. So Sharrell had an interview with Ernest, Mary's uncle, right? And so I guess they had an interview already. I actually didn't see the original one. I guess it was from like a year ago when Mary first came on the show and stuff like that, right? And so the Cameron guy, the one that said that Mary had the $300,000 and like, also they had like a relationship and stuff like that, right? They had he had well what Ernest had said, he had died from like when he had like a brain surgery, like there was something going on with some kind of surgery, and then that's how he passed away. Unfortunately, I always wonder like, damn, how did he pass away? He also mentioned that basically the husband or the grandpa, married her step grandpa. um, he was basically the family was supposed to get 50%, and then he was supposed to get 50%, but he ended up taking it all. And then when Mary got with him, and then that's when the money basically they took the money from the family, because the family was supposed to get money as well too, and they didn't. Now, I don't know if this is a situation where the family might just be bitter and that's what's going on, but I definitely think there is some truth to this because money will bring out the truth and it will bring out the ugliness in people. Again, money will bring out the truth and it will bring out the ugliness in people. So I think there is some truth to this. Allegedly. We got to say allegedly. Oh, thank you, Vegas Girl. Have a good one. Also, on the show, they were talking about that somebody had committed sui. Someone had committed sui over Mary's church, and he said, some guy had allegedly stabbed himself with a butter knife or a knife or something like that, right? And he said that story was true. Also, he said the way that Mary cries and like manipulates people and try to use God, that's one of the things that she does. That's part of her characteristics. I thought that was very interesting. He also spoke about her ex-husband because she had an ex-husband before she married the step-grandpa, right? And the ex-husband had to, and I hope I'm saying this right, but had to like denounce his love for Mary or basically said they're not together. So then it was basically okay for her to go with the grandpa instead. It was very crazy. And also he talked about the people would refinance or redo their mortgages to try to give the church money and stuff like that, and they're basically living off of the church, and that's how they get their money. And so he said had a lot of information in there, so definitely I would say go watch it. I'm not going to tell you guys no, not an annulment because they were married. It was some word he used, but basically, like the ex-husband had to say, like he don't love her no more for them to, not be together. So I thought that was very interesting, and definitely go ahead and check out the actual interview. He said a lot more in there, but I don't want to give y'all everything. But I just wanted to kind of give y'all a brief synopsis, so y'all go over there and watch it. Make sure you guys check out Sharrell's World. All right. That's basically it for the review. I think we'll be back next week. Hopefully the episodes are entertaining and good, so then we got something to talk about. But I just kind of wanted to get on here briefly and just share my thoughts on the show and everything like that. Shout out to everybody that has hit that like button. Shout out to everybody that checked out the trailer, or I should say checked out the Judge Velvet show. Hopefully you guys liked it. Before we get out of here, make sure you hit that like button, and I'm going to go ahead and play the trailer again for those of you who just came into the room.
Judge Velvet, we ain't with the fuck shit. Hallelujah.
You gotta say flip hair flat.
See a goddamn thing. I can't see nothing. I can't see a goddamn thing going on. Somebody tell me, look,
Hennessy. We can't hear you. All my proof, all my receipts are right here. I'm covered in receipts. All receipts. My opinion. I just don't understand why I'm on the naughty list.
Judge Velvet. Thank you for watching the trailer.